I'm here in the Four Corners region of the American Southwest, a place that has scorchingly hot summers, frigid winters, and is altogether bone dry.
It's a place that many have called a wasteland, unfit for life.
Yet it was this landscape 1,000 years before Christ that gave rise to one of the most complex, sprawling indigenous cultures in North America. You might know them as the Anasazi, but it'd be more accurate to call them ancestral Puebloans.
Their advanced civilization lasted 10 times longer than the United States has existed.
In fact, these would be the largest structures in North America up until the 1800s.
They excelled at everything: engineering, agriculture, the arts, astronomy. But at some point in the 1100s, long before the arrival of Europeans, they appear to have suddenly vanished. It's like they simply walked away, leaving behind everything they'd built.
And why this disappearance? It depends on who you ask. To me, though, personally, this is a story about the desert itself.
The best clues that we have about the disappearance are still hidden within this harsh landscape. And I'm here to uncover those clues, which requires understanding the law of the desert, where food and water can be elusive, but where death seems right at hand. Farming would have relied on rainfall and snowmelt. The ancestral Puebloans were experts at desert agriculture. They grew enough crops to feed a city on just 9 inches of annual rainfall. They planted mixed crops of corn, beans, and squash. They constructed terraces and canal systems to divert and deliver water. Every drop of moisture was used with purpose. But with such a massive population center at Chaco Canyon, feeding the inhabitants would have been a constant challenge. Hunters would have needed to roam far and wide, and they certainly frequented this area here in the Santa Fe National Forest.
No tracks.
I'm out here to hunt small game. There's a good eating critter here known as an Abert squirrel. But instead, I've bumped into something that would have been far more coveted by the ancestral Puebloans.
That'd have been a mighty square meal right there.
This mule deer doe and her fawn would have been exactly what the ancestral Puebloan hunters were looking for.
Agricultural people would eat a lot less meat, but the meat would be cherished as a way to supplement the diet of corn, beans, rather than like a primary food source.
From where I stand, the mystery is just getting deeper. The ancestral Puebloans had perfected their strategies for shelter, water, and food in the desert. Their achievements were on par with any civilization. There's no obvious glaring reason they should have suddenly vanished, as so many say they did. I can't shake the feeling I'm missing something.
What about on a local sense? Meaning, if you have a simplistic view of Native America, you imagine hunter-gatherer bands where everybody shares everything and it's really small.
Yeah, this was a hierarchical society. And there was an elite class, there was a middle class, and then there was this kind of peasant farming class.
Now here's where things get pretty wild. Repeatedly, archaeologists have put forth their evidence of an elite Chaco lineage marked by a rare trait, a 6th toe. There's even a 6-toe motif running through some of their art. Researchers have argued that these 6-toed individuals lived better, grew taller, and lived longer.
The priests probably told the people they had a direct communication with the deities in order to provide enough wood, enough wildlife, and enough water to make it rain. But the issue with that, of course, is that it works as long as you can deliver the goods.
Yeah.
And a drought hit in the 1100s. The elites couldn't make it rain.
Yeah, we use the term drought, and we're talking about it was a couple years of dry weather, right?
I mean, the Dust Bowl drought that most of us know from modern American history only lasted for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
This thing was a mega drought. It lasted for, it seems, about 3 decades.
When this catastrophic drought hit Chaco Canyon, everything changed. For North America, this was the single greatest mega drought in human history. When something as vital as water suddenly disappears, things can fall apart quickly.
And I think what ultimately happened was that the farming class appealed to then was this body of priests here So fix it, make it rain. And if you can't deliver, then all bets are off. Something bad happened at the end. Probably some of this elite class didn't survive as a result of ecological overreach in a sensitive place. It was a little bit like the French Revolution, where Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette don't make it. And along with the drought that precipitated this social crisis, that's what we think probably happened.
If Dan's theory that drought triggered social upheaval and forced the people of Chaco Canyon to disperse is correct, where did they go? I want to speak with Zuni historian and tribal elder Kenny Bocati to see if he can help shed some light on the journey of these ancient people. In 1527, a lost and wandering band of Spaniards that included a man named Cabeza de Vaca first generated rumors about seeing, from a distance, great cities of gold in the American Southwest. In 1540, the conquistador Coronado led an expedition of over 1,000 men to investigate. When they arrived here at Hawiku village, they found no gold, but did discover and overrun a thriving trade hub full of turquoise and silver. Today, it is believed that those mythical cities of gold may have been distant ancestral Puebloan ruins glowing in the evening sun.
Our people migrated around to search for a prophesized area for an eternal habitational location for the children of Mother Earth. This grand search to find this prophesized area went far and beyond over the Rockies, and people start settling in all parts of the Southwest here. Mesa, Verde, Chaco Canyon start to evolve in population. This prophecy told the people that once you find this prophesized area, there was no need to search anymore. There was no need for our people to be out there. Once Zuni is founded, as Hawiku is starting to now grow, a message went out. North, south, east, and west, pack your things and go back to where you left your loved ones.
They went to home.
They went home. They went back to the Senda de Cristoma. They went back to the Hopi. They just moved to where they are now. The Anasazi is very much alive in 2024.
If you had asked me a week ago what happened to the ancestral Puebloans, who I knew as the Anasazi, I'd have given a vague answer about an ancient people who once built grand buildings and then mysteriously vanished. Until this trip, I never really bothered to ask to where. But now that I've spent some time on this, looking into the theories, the places they lived, the conditions that surrounded them, I'm wondering if the answer to that mystery was actually right here all along.
I don't know much, but I'll be told, I'll be educated that there was a group of people and they vanished.
Well, no, we're still here.
A Pueblo is a community.
Yes.
And today, in this region, there are 21 Pueblos.
Yes.
I came here trying to answer a question about why a people who thrived here just disappeared. But it was actually never a disappearance at all. It was a movement across the land, a dispersal. Instead of clinging to a single resource-depleted area, the ancestral Puebloans adapted, spreading out across the Four Corners, establishing different centers of activity but remaining one people, bound by shared oral histories and cherished traditions passed down through generations.